Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Don't wait for Lincoln's fireworks stands to open up. Get the good stuff at Roca Crazy Cracker in downtown Roca. Stop in from June 25th through July 4th for the hot spot for rockets and more this Independence Day. Open 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. It's Roca Crazy Cracker Fireworks in downtown Roca.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is On the Block with Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer, Jay Foreman. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
There it is. There it is. This is another day. A weekend has passed, and now we have arrived on a Manic Monday. M. Manic Monday mashup is what we got going on for you guys. Once again, thanks for joining us here on the block. Austin Orman is not here today. Ellie is on the ones and twos. What's going on, Ellie? How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. It's glad to have you. It's been a minute. You know, we used to enjoy working with you until you disappeared, but you're back.
I'm back.
She's
I haven't
back.
been on the block in a while.
Hall of Famer is in the building. He just arrived. We're going to let him get himself together, get him set up. But Jay, it's good to see you, my friend. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, it was all right. It was all right, man. Yeah. It goes by too quick, man. For all the nonsense that's going on in the world, if you won't get 100% of the votes, make it a 3-day weekend.
Right?
That'll change.
Right? That'll change some things up, some hearts and minds.
I win. Y'all don't even I just be independent. We got 3-day weekend.
We talk about that Manic Monday situation. What's harder, Jay? Is it harder, would you say, to make it through a weekend and wake up in the morning on a Monday, or after a game to wake up on a Monday?
Oh, straight, man.
Talk to me.
That depends on when the game is. I mean, what type of game it was. If it's one of them serious games,
like Steelers against you,
it's hard.
Yeah, it's a tough. I agree, man. I used to hate back-to-backs.
Now, if you kicked it too hard on the weekend,
mm-hmm.
like you see them people that fall out at when they're on vacation, then yeah, but I used to go to games as like when I was a ball boy, and then I went to a couple of Viking games after the season. I don't see how people drink like they drink and then get up and go to work.
Yeah,
Monday,
no doubt. Yeah, I don't understand it either, to be honest. Listen, On the Block is sponsored by Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Check out all our selections online at themercadobutcher.com or at any of their local 4 locations on 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, as well as one of my favorite spots, 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado, which is the best meat in town. Every type of what, Jay?
Every type of meat, every type of cut.
There it is. So joining us today, we're going to talk about it's Monday Mashup. What's been on your mind when you looked at coming off the weekend? This is what Monday Mashup is. Manic Monday Mashup is all about what topics are on the mind as, to me, it's kind of like Cypress Hill. Insane in the membrane. What's the thing that's been driving your mind wild over the weekend that you just have to get to the block and have to share? What thing's been on your mind over the weekend with regards to sports?
Well, regards to sports, I mean, also we're going to jump into your arena, right? So that's on
we definitely go
because
jump
you know
in.
who's on. My boy,
boy,
DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah,
he's back in the building. So we're gonna say that because I guess he's gonna try to get down to LA. But I think the one that really jumped off was it's 2, and it has to do with quarterbacks, and they both the same. If you play quarterback at BYU, you just like Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson said he wants to play to his mid-40s. Great, boy, you crazy. You crazy. Brady's the only one that could do it. Brett Favre could do it, but in this day and age, with the way Russell Wilson's playing, it tells me that when you have that many, he trying to have like 5 kids. So he tells me 2 things: you struggling or you hate being at home. Because here's why: Russell's not a linebacker, so he can just fall right into a TV job. So. That's the thing that I mean. Obviously, the NBA is really taking over, and then my man up there at BYU, he on the struggle bus.
Yeah, let's get into that real quick. I mean, it's a tough story, and let's talk about that football situation there with what's happening with BYU and the quarterback situation. Obviously, is trying to transfer now prior to a sexual assault. An SA lawsuit, Jake Retzlaff. He faces suspension. What's the details behind that?
I just thought I didn't know he had the SA behind. I just thought he just broke the code like Jim McMahon.
Yeah,
you remember Jim McMahon back in the day? He said, "Listen, when I'm here, there is no code." Now I go back, whatever. You remember the basketball player a few years ago when BYU first jumped on the scene? He got jammed up at a house party. I don't know, man.
There's different rules at BYU. See, that's the thing.
Like
there's
going into the military.
There's different rules. Yeah, there's definitely some different rules. The story is that there's a civil lawsuit accusing him of an essay.
I didn't know.
BYU quarterback Jake Retzlaff could face a 7-game suspension for See, that's the thing. It's not necessarily because of any prison time. Yeah. This is a civil matter. And it's the actual code. He's violating the school's honor code and will likely leave the program, according to multiple reports. The Salt Lake Tribune was the first to report the news. So that's why it's a little bit different than what it is. It deals with the code.
You know what this is like, Strick. I know you ain't got into Game of Thrones.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you got into it?
I've watched all of them.
So when Jon Snow,
I just haven't watched the new one in full yet.
Okay, but remember when Jon Snow, when they sent him off there and he became
when he went up to the wall.
That's what you do when you go to BYU.
Mm-hmm.
They just said that's it. You can't have a wife. You can't do anything. You just gotta wait. You gotta wait for the night walkers.
Well, yeah,
BYU waiting for the Utah Utes. You gotta sit there and watch.
I remember when Sean Bradley went through that.
Oh, that's your boy.
Yeah, Sean Bradley, man. He went to do that mission, and I was like, wow. So I got to ask him about that, and some of the things that he said was, it's not a requirement, but it's
to go on the mission.
It's kind of like it's a recommendation to do it, so forth and so on. So you don't necessarily have to, but that's something that is recommended to do. So. We're not going to dig too much into that, but I think it's interesting. What's the benefit, real quick, Jay, for breaking camp because it doesn't inhibit you from actual playing because it's a civil matter
Yeah.
and not necessarily criminal. That's the weird part, right?
I didn't know the first part. I just felt like I thought like he got jammed. Somebody told him or something, and so he just the quarterback that almost had him in the college football playoffs is now gone. But BYU they don't play no games when it comes to that. And then I guess the bigger part is and this probably flows into the NBA thing with Russell Wilson. It's just interesting his take on that because he had jumped into the media, had his own YouTube, he had his own film crew, following him around, kind of like Lamar Odom did, remember with the Lakers.
Yeah.
But now he's like, man, I feel like he wants to play more. Now I think it's a little bit of extending your career because he still does have some, tread on the tires. So he doesn't want to be 1 year and done in New York, probably.
Yeah.
Right. You never want to move your family around this late in your career. So I think it's a little bit of that. But quarterbacks make stupid money on and off the field. And he's in the perfect time because I think he was a social media star. He was the darling of being a late round draft pick, beat out a free agent, won a Super Bowl. Obviously, his wife is world iconic almost as far as, in her career. And so when you go to Paris Fashion Week, right off the rip, you're in a different category as far as NFL players. The same thing, like James Harden, he did it. I mean, when you're doing that type of stuff in the off season, you have a couple options after you're done playing. So I just wonder why he would think that he'd still be needing to play to 45 years old.
Yeah, no doubt, no question on that. Yeah, it just don't make sense,
right? Because it's not like back when we played, where it's like. In your era, it was probably like Jordan, Kobe, Allen. It had the big off the court revenue coming in. You know what I'm saying? There was probably, whereas like when I played, it's just the quarterbacks.
Have you heard the story behind that Jordan situation? This is Monday mashup. Since have you heard the story behind his return and why he returned?
Yeah.
So
to Chicago
why he came really out of retirement the second time for the Wizards.
Yeah,
do you understand?
Yeah.
Some people don't know. Some people don't really know the story behind that. And let's kind of jump into that real quick. Ellie, listen to this too. So basically, the story behind that, a lot of people always wonder, well, why did Michael Jordan leave? Why did he decide to come back? I mean, he's 40 years old. And what a lot of people may not know about that story, and you kind of go dig into it. We won't go in depth about it because we got a couple more subjects we might jump into. But the story is that we're coming off of 9/11. A lot of that happened. There was a lot of trouble as far as a feeling around the sporting arena at that time. Obviously, they're in DC. The team is kind of wavering a little bit, and he actually, the heart behind it was he wanted to give back to all that the league had given to him, the people had given to them for the fans. And if you listen to his interviews, a lot of that evolves around why he plays the way he plays in 82 games and why he doesn't sit out, because he knows that these fans have come and he's grateful for them coming to see him. Right. So the story behind it is he did not take a dime of his salary. It all went back to causes to help the community. He never took a salary out of playing for the Wizards. And I think that's pretty dope to know.
Yeah, I think sometimes guys, there's guys that do stuff and they do it for the recognition and do it just for the betterment of the league. Jordan was in the front office, and he probably saw wouldn't say a storied franchise, but a very, very well respected franchise going to the dumps. And that's always back when I remember growing up watching the Bullets. They were tough, watching the Bullets. And then
you remember Manute Bol?
I remember them, all of them. I remember Malone and all those guys that were.
What about the big fella that he could barely run? He was like 7'7".
Oh yeah.
Freaking, what was his name? He was still there.
It was Manute Bol, and then they had
what was his name? God,
it was Yang or something like that. He was a big old George Yang. He's number 77.
77.
Yeah. And they had good teams back in the day. You got to think they had Calbert Chaney, they had Weber and Howard. You know,
Strickland.
So they
Rod Strickland.
right. So they always were pretty competitive, and then when they went into the dumps quick, and so for him to come back, and he knew they weren't. And part of that also, Strick, is that at that point in time they hadn't had any NBA players in ownership positions, and they wouldn't let him. Remember, they denied him, and so he said, "You know what? I'm going to go show you how I can make some money for you." So he went and did it, and I remember I watched him we went and watched him when he played the Timberwolves. While he was with the Wizards, and he played the whole game. It was sold out.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't very good, but he did his thing. I think he put 30 on them, and then he, did his thing. So it was, and then obviously giving it to everybody for 9/11 shows that, there's a lot of things that Jordan took a lot of heat for, rightfully so. But there's a lot of things that he doesn't get credit for, unjustly so. And that's one of them.
Yeah. Shout out to the U.S. men's national team, the soccer team. They survived a thriller from Costa Rica, and they move on to the Gold Cup semifinal by way of Matt Freeze's penalty shot heroics. You got it done, and because that would have been, with it being here in the States, to have, to not be moving on would have been detrimental. So for the fact that they're moving on to the semifinal, that's good. It's good for the country. It's good for the soccer team, and obviously aspirations to really do something big with it coming to the United States next year.
Yeah, well, I think the men's national team in soccer is always a hot button, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the way back to where you had iconic figures like Donovan, Alexi Lalas, and all those guys that are very good now that they're, which for them, when they made the World Cup and made a little bit of noise, that was a huge feat. That was a huge feat. That was a huge step. And that's with minimal support, kind of out of nowhere. And now where, they're looking at guys that are going over and playing in the Euro leagues, as early as 16, 17, 18. And then when they come back, like, Pulisic is obviously very, very polarizing and not living up to expectations. They've went through multiple coaches. They've had world champion coaches. They've had World Cup gold winning coaches be their coach, and it still hasn't really worked. And they haven't been able to get that grassroots, type of thing. So any victory that they get is actually bodes well for them twofold. One, the act of winning and gutting it out. And then two, you're keeping that good aura with this coach, his regime. Because every time you get a new coach, they're trying to change everything, but it's on the fly because everybody's playing everywhere. You're playing in the MLS here, you're playing over in Euro leagues, you're playing secondary leagues, and trying to get to come together. Whereas, Spain, Portugal,
they're there.
They play together in their club teams. 2 or 3 guys together, and they've been playing together forever. Whereas we're very sparse because
that's well said. I mean, you don't really think about it to that level.
It's no different than when KD was talking about when they were playing France, and France was like, "Oh, we play together." KD was like, "Hey, look, man, me and Steph and LeBron, we've been playing together for it. Don't matter what you do." That.
What's your thought on a proposal? Remember, we one of the things we've talked about here is different all-star games, right? We've discussed how over the course of the time that I know Austin and I have been together, we haven't really talked about it as much, Jay. So I definitely, before we go to first break of the first segment, thank you for joining us here on the block, right here on 93.7 The Ticket, where you can find us each day, 5 days a week, right here from 3 to 5. We appreciate you for tapping in on us. 402-464-5685 if you want to jump into the conversation as well. But here's the deal. We've talked about the different all-star games. How can they enhance it? How can they make it better? So some of the proposals, like, for example, they tried to do the flag football stuff because a lot of guys just had no interest in doing it. In the basketball side, there's a lot of guys. You've heard stuff from KD who talked about we just need a break. And you've heard Draymond Green and guys like that talking about, less games. But how can it enhance it? They've proposed something, a real type of World Cup, international against the Americans.
Oh,
like, how would you think of that?
Like Canada, I mean, you could and do something like that.
So it's like the international
it's kinda like what hockey
players
did, with
right?
I
thought that was pretty dope.
It had great viewership too.
Yeah.
And it was exciting. And I think
there's you want to get after it a little bit more, right?
Well, you're playing for something different.
Come on.
When
Talk
your
to me
country and pride, and plus the teams aren't as lopsided now anymore. Because and I also think you need to rotate. And I know Canada probably plays more like our rules, but I think one All-Star game you play by the Euro rules, and the other All-Star game you play with, kind of the regular rules. Heck, you gotta think, man. It was what was the African country that gave the U.S. a little bit of run for their money? Basketball no longer is.
It was South Sudan, I think it was.
South Sudan. They're no longer dominating. Like, it's just a foregone conclusion, and that's a great thing. I'm not a big believer in this whole less games. I think, that's just a typical modern day athlete. They want to get paid 8 to 10 times more and do less work.
Yeah.
That's it. You can't tell me. Look, the game is still the same amount of minutes. Yes, the pace is a little bit higher, but you have more doctors, more trainers, more knowledge of the body, and then also, man, a lot of you guys don't work hard enough in the off season.
Yeah,
and you can speak to that more than me, but I know in football it's the same. You might got big arms and 6-pack, but you can't play a whole game.
That's a fact.
It's there.
That's a fact. Well, it's an interesting thing. I think I'm looking forward to just getting the energy back into it. It is
All-Star games.
Yeah, just the energy. Look. When Kobe and that crew was around, even when AI and that crew, look, they were serious. Like, it's like, it's my turn to like give you some of this work, like on the big stage. And the guys before that, the guys before that, they were really now. Here's where here's a glimpse, and we're going to talk a little bit more about obviously the signing, the opting in of LeBron when we're talking about the free agent stuff and what that all means. We'll get into that in the next segment. But here's where you saw an inkling of that. There was one All-Star game where Kobe, he was still in the East at that time. Yeah. LeBron was still in the East, but Kobe's like, I want him.
Yeah. That's a rite of passage type of deal.
That's when you knew the competition was on the next level, and then they started just.
Well, because they all play together, and it kind of just goes down to grassroots. You think money might do it? Not really.
Yeah.
You might try to do something like baseball does. Whoever wins the All-Star game gets kind of home court advantage.
Yeah.
In the NBA, in the playoff, in the NBA championship.
Right. But that's tough to take that away.
Because if you play for the Charlotte Hornets and you know you ain't got a chance, you tanking anyway.
Yeah. So
I think it's just that they just at some point in time, man, you gotta have a little pride in yourself.
You just have a little pride. You gotta take a little pride, I think. I think that's what it comes down to.
They all know how to play without trying to hurt each other.
Right. You go to gyms every summer. Everybody's down at Rico's Runs, down in LA, down in Houston with John, and then everybody down there. Y'all know how exactly. Y'all know how to play without hurting each other. So stop the cap on that. We're gonna take our first break here. Ellie, anything you want to tap in on that Manic Monday mashup? Any of them topics? Any of them stories?
In the WNBA, they announced who the All-Star captains are. They got Nefessa Collier and Caitlin Clark as your All-Star captains.
Pause before we go to break. Let's go real quick since we still money mashup. When you're looking at the because I'm going to get to the WNBA, but it's not going to be this topic. When you're watching the WNBA now, great surge early on, and now that the refs have been letting Caitlin get Monday mashed up and beat up. Now the tickets are going. Talk to me. Like, what do you think about that? Are they doing a disservice for the league by allowing this to happen and not really? It's not that you protect your best player, but gosh darn it, don't let them just murk her every time she steps on the court.
Well, it's not just Caitlin getting beat up. A lot of players in the WNBA are hurt right now. You had Paige Becker, she was out. Caitlin was out. I'm trying to think of the statistic, like you were playing with 8 active players on the Dallas Wings the other day. Like, that should not be happening on, not just in the WNBA, in all leagues. There should be some more priority when it comes to players getting injured. There's just so much injury, refs letting them beat each other up, and you're finally seeing players sticking up for other players, but still those injuries are happening. And it's a lot of lower leg injuries that are happening. So they've been trying to look into statistics with that, especially with women. It's just they're more prone to tear their ACLs and have things that tear in the lower areas, and that needs to be looked into. And I think it's really overlooked right now.
Great point there, Ellie.
It's tough, man.
Great point. 402-464-5685. We'll try to get to some of you guys' texts as well throughout the day, but we appreciate you. No Austin Orman today. It is me and Jay Foreman as well as Ellie. We're taking over On the Block today. We'll be right back. We'll take our first break right here, 93.7 The Ticket on the Block.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: a chance of showers and storms in the morning. Otherwise, decreasing clouds this afternoon with a high around 85. Tonight, mainly clear skies and light winds. Overnight low near 60. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with light winds and an afternoon high around 89. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Safety is always at the top of mind at Lincoln Electric System. The safety of our employees and the safety of our customers. It's National Safety Month. Visit les.com/safety for tips on all things related to electrical safety.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Welcome back to On the Block. We're here until 5, and then obviously Old School will take over with Jay Foreman and the Old School crew with Ellie on the boards. Are you on the boards, Ellie, for Old School today too? Ooh, and you get a full the full show with Ellie today. You all the way live. So here it is. A lot of things popping in the NBA. NBA free agency is now popping. There was a show, a movie back in the day, Jay. Back in the day, it was a good movie that was out, and it was called Breaking. And ain't no stopping, no stopping. No one. You remember? Right? Jay, tell the truth. You know, you was out there on the cardboard trying to pop a lock.
I had the little pants with the zippers on the side. I used to do it.
Yeah.
Coming there with my Air Force Ones, high tops, try to break a little bit.
Do you have the Michael Jackson jacket? Did you have the parachute pants?
I had it all, man.
Yeah, I did too. By the way. That was fun times back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. NBA free agency, the negotiating window now pops off. It'll actually start jumping off right when we finish here and Old School takes over. The class, little shaky, lackluster class a little bit. There's still some potential impact players that can be had there. There's some. We'll talk about some of these players, what they did. Is there a possibility of movement? Where they're gonna continue to reside, all this stuff going on. So we're definitely gonna talk a little bit about that. As of right now, you'll find Chris Middleton and Malcolm Brogdon. They'll be on the lower half of this and of this group, and it's kind of wild that you think about it. At one point, Chris Middleton was highly sought after in free agency, but you know, will he remain? Will he stay? We saw that. They signed Portis again, which is, do you have to ask? Let's start there real quick, Jay. You ask a question. Do some people get stuck on certain players at a team when they know they probably need to move on? And you just, it's you like them, you're comfortable. Do they feel like family? Is that why sometimes situations like that work? Because outside of the their championship run, you really haven't seen a breakout like a Naj Reid type of breakout from Portis. He's just been solid, but is it enough to pay him, 3 year, I think 40-something, 44 million or something like that?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of that, but I think relatively to what his output is or his
3 year 44.
His production is actually pretty cheap. There's a lot of scrubs out there about to get paid. I'm sure he could have probably got or demanded more in the open market, and he wants to be in Milwaukee. And I'm pretty sure he has a pretty good relationship with Giannis. He's kind of like their bully.
Yeah.
And so this isn't more about Giannis trying to surround him with familiar faces that he trusts and try to keep him in Milwaukee. But you're right. I think guys fall into body. It is fall into body types, skill sets, what ifs. It's all about that short glimpse that they're stretching out long.
So we're gonna talk about your guy Jay, and he's not your guy. I'm
standing on business. LeBron's
that's his guy. That's his guy. LeBron has decided to exercise his player option to remain with the Lakers with over 50. I think it's 52 some million is what he's going to opt into. What's your thoughts about the reasoning of why you would opt in? Because here's the deal. Let's be honest. LeBron could have opted out and probably gotten 2 years, I think maximum 2 years, maybe stretch out 3. If he negotiated the homie hookup deal, maybe could have got 3, but let's go 2 at least. Could have got 2. But what would make him, knowing this is the case, could have got more money? Mm-hmm. What makes him decide to opt in? What's your just take on that potentially?
I think it's twofold. I think he's a billionaire. So that's the extra $50 million. He knows that if he plays next year, he's going to get the same amount. So I think the comfortableness, knowing that he can make a good sound business decision and get paid $52 million to get a look-see. I'm seeing what you do. Hey, they've said it. Rob Pelinka said they've been hands off. So now it's like you've been telling us stuff. Now your actions haven't shown it. So now you're actually. So I think it works out business wise is good, and it allows for teams that think they're on the cusp, primarily in the East, one centerpiece to be able to go there. Now this is to
be able to present for a trade and not have to really lose your belt. If you get a third person in the deal, you definitely can make that
deal. But it's a 1 year rent. And he still keeps his home in LA and all that.
Yeah.
But really, this whole situation is a difference in what the Lakers have now with new ownership. I always feel like this when what people need to do when teams are bought and sold, you better start, if you really care and really just get interested about it, you want to see how they do work. All these guys are under one umbrella. There's one connection that I don't want to say, but they're doing this stuff as a way to beat the S&P 500.
Yeah,
it's the best investment out there. But it's also a change in who the new ownership and who Rob Pelinka, who probably is on the chopping block. If not, he's going to have to get in line. Who they want to partner with agent-wise. This is about Luka and Duffy, the agent. And guess who's coming with Luka, potentially? DeAndre Ayton. You don't opt out of that type of or ask for a buyout because essentially you're going to take a little bit of a haircut if you already don't know where you're going. This is about Luka. LeBron's fine with it. You think Luka's the guy? Go right ahead.
So let me break this down for you. So with everything going on right now, they're basically going to be armed with the $14 million mid-level exception. The Lakers are expected to go after. Here's the 3 that they're looking to go after. Brook Lopez is definitely one of them. Clint Capella, lob specialist, pretty good on the inside, runs the floor very well. And as you said, DeAndre Ayton. Based on the makeup of the Lakers, what do you feel of those 3, honestly? Because it's still negotiating for Portland. Like, do you go out early and go ahead and land a Clint Capella, or do you wait to make sure you work the deal? Because you're not guaranteed to get that deal, and you don't want to lose one of the two that you need because you need a center right now. So talk to me. Where you go?
That's where the communication with this deal should be done.
Yeah.
Right? You don't ask for a buyout. It shouldn't be that much. Now, just how much haircut you're going to take, and then how much the Lakers are going to obviously give you just for men and get your stuff back right. Now if that gray area, if there's too much, flaking going on, then you go right to Clint Capella. I think Clint Capella,
I agree,
is more trustworthy. I think he's probably more motivated and you trust him. I think the only way
now Brook has stretch abilities, Clint doesn't. So, but he has lob abilities where Brook doesn't. So there you go.
The best version of Luka is what when he was in
lob.
Dallas.
Yeah,
but I think. To be honest with you, I think if you can get one of DeAndre Ayton or Clint Capella, I still think you can get Brook Lopez if he's willing to come in, and he's from a California dude. If you get him on some sort of reduced contract, because he gives you that stretch 5 that DeAndre Ayton and or Clint, because I think, and then Lopez can give you a defensive physicality and a mean streak that you need to protect Luka. And if LeBron stays, that as well.
Another one that I thought could be pretty solid, but they won't have enough to get him. He's too high on the board for them. Is Miles Turner is going to be unrestricted for the Pacers? They're probably going to need to make a move to they have no other options, and there's really nothing out there at this point. So they may be stuck on that. We know Julius Randle just upped a 3-year, $100 million with Minnesota. How do you feel about that being from Minnesota?
Timberwolves, my team.
He actually showed up in the playoffs this year. I was actually impressed.
Here's what you worry about, though.
Talk to me.
And you see this a lot of time in football. Guys that kind of, they're lazy. They're not very good teammates. And, year 2 and 3, and then here you go, a contract year. The next thing you know, he's on time to meetings. He's doing more than what's required. He goes out and kicks butt. Then you revert back. I do think Julius Randle, the trade really hurt him more here than anything. I think remember when that
injury,
it's
a mental thing. Yeah.
It's the injury thing in New York,
Mm-hmm.
and then he forced himself to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Valiantly played in that playoff run.
Gone.
With it, they traded him quick,
Mm-hmm.
and so as soon as the exit meeting was, and it's like, you know what, here's your ticket to Minnesota, and you know what I'm saying. So I think that affected him for a while.
Yeah,
and then I think he just got back to. So I like him. I think he fits good. I think you give Naz Reid. Now
they touched him up. Naz Reid, they ended up giving Naz. I can tell you,
5 years, $125 million. I know exactly.
You know exactly what it was. 125. Sure enough.
But you got the Eiffel Tower in there.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to go.
Somebody's got to move, because that's a lot of money at the position without the super production. And so that's that. I actually like that combo of Naz Reid and him.
It gives Julius Randle more space.
Yeah, I agree.
It does.
I agree,
and that's where he's the best.
I got 2 more for you. Yeah,
okay.
I agree. I got 2 more for you. Quentin Grimes. He made some. He leaves Dallas, goes to the Sixers, balls out.
Thank you, Embiid.
Thank
you, Paul George.
Thank you.
And he should have been an all-star.
Yeah, he showed up.
But he played well. I liked him.
I liked him. I don't think the Sixers can keep him.
You can't.
Where would you like to see him with the style that he showed? What would be a good landing spot you think for him?
He's going to be a well thought off player. If I'm him, I'm trying to go to like Brooklyn or somewhere where I can keep expanding.
Yeah, because they don't really have a scoring threat like that in Brooklyn.
Right, 1A or 1B.
Right,
if they bring it, so we got a good combination there.
I like that.
Big market.
Yeah.
Kind of like Philly.
Yeah. Okay. Last one. The point guard. Chris Paul. Down there in San Antonio, but
they got 5.
He's 40.
But they got
5. They got who they want. They got their next run. Probably not going to be there. Did a wonderful job. Somebody's going to want his services, because I think he still can run a team.
It's just where I think he's a lot like LeBron. You're going to get a veteran leadership. I know David Stern knocked out that trade to LA. He could go there and play a true point guard role and I think
because they really don't have a point guard.
And I think he could play well with Luka.
Yeah.
And teach him.
Yeah, Luka is a point guard, so yeah.
But allow Luka, who's not ever probably going to be in the best physical shape, to play off the ball and kind of expand. In his game.
Yeah, and him and LeBron are really close friends. If they don't pull the trigger, I think if you're smart, if you're the Lakers and you're trying to move him, LeBron. Because it's really about Luka now. We see that with the way that things.
Yeah,
it's about him.
Yeah, and it's fine.
So
I like Chris Paul to Timberwolves.
I don't think you wait though. I think you do it this summer if you're going to do it. If you're LeBron, I think you want to go and be where you want to make a run.
If you're gonna not do anything, say you strike out on all the guys we missed, we talked about, right, and you let Finney Smith go, and so now it's just essentially run it back again, and we're the 3rd seed, and we can't really compete on a national. I gotta go right now.
Yeah. Dan from Canopy said off the Starter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. He said, LeBron is over 40. Are you kidding me? Yes, we absolutely know that. And that's why we think it's going to be advantageous for him to go somewhere because we know that half that team, losing Dorian Finney-Smith as well, half that team to include Austin Reeves, the only one that probably plays defense is Hachimura. And maybe the young fella.
Didn't he get traded? Or Hachimura, ain't he gone?
Did he? I haven't seen.
I thought you was a scorer.
Well, so you have no one that plays defense except the young fella that they just brought in from Arkansas, Tiro. So at this point, though, he's going to want to go somewhere to try to make this run. Here's the back logic before we go to break. I think if he wants to make a move, it's going to be New York. The reason being, LeBron likes to go, no shade, to places where it's locked in stock, to where you got an opportunity to get in the mix of things. They're ready, and it'll take some pressure off of Brunson. It'll give him, an opportunity to keep himself healthy for playoff runs. You got good defense, so LeBron, you don't have to play the Superman defense that you had to. You've got a pretty good defense. You can play good token defense and still be good. And the East is really down. Boston's fell off the map. Philly's no bueno right now. Cleveland is shaky. Maybe you've got to look at Orlando, but they're not stepped up. If you're LeBron, you're trying to stay away from OKC. That's the move. If you want to make a run, you need to go back east.
And plus I think LeBron with Brunson, Cat, in the
East, there's trouble.
Him fitting in on that team and being able to kind of piece together a series, especially with Thibodeau gone now.
So Thibodeau gone now, you can expand your roster.
Now you can expand your roster, but expand your horizons, or you expand your bench, like you man. I think Cleveland could be there too.
Cleveland's going to be there, but now Indy's going to be down with no Halliburton. Halliburton's going to be done until next year.
Right.
So
it's right there.
It's right there.
Yeah, it's right
Let's
there.
talk about it. It's right there. No, Atlanta's garbage. Washington, Orlando, maybe Miami.
If LeBron was smart, if I was talking to LeBron, I'd say, look, man, go to the Timberwolves.
Ooh.
And the Lakers need a defensive guy. You can have the Eiffel Tower for LeBron and considerations in the future. Right? But that ain't going to happen. He ain't going to like that cold up there.
There it is. Unnamed texter 1171 as we go to break says LeBron for Embiid. Who says no? Hey, it might work. I mean, at this point, the Lakers need a center, and LeBron maybe wants to go out that way. But I doubt Philly. They're not on the cusp of winning anything, so we say no. We'll be right back. 937 The Ticket. We'll be here right after this.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Safety is always at the top of mind at Lincoln Electric System. The safety of our employees and the safety of our customers. It's National Safety Month. Visit les.com/safety for tips on all things related to electrical safety.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and the hail sale has been a huge success, but is winding down. We still, though, have several units with huge discounts. Plus, we have brand new Sierras, $14,000 off list, or starting at $37,105, or 0.9% APR on select new models. Yes, you heard right. $14,000 off or 0.9% APR on new Sierras starting at $37,105. So please check us out at cobblecars.com. All deals with roof credit, stock number G289358.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
I want to ride. Do you want to ride? June is officially riding month at Rod's Power Sports, Nebraska's largest volume Honda Power Sports dealership. Come in now and take advantage of huge savings and a great inventory selection during Rod's I Want to Ride celebration days all month long. Simply schedule a qualified demo ride on one of their new Honda motorcycles, ATVs, scooters, or side-by-sides, or purchase a new or used vehicle, and you get a free custom I Want to Ride t-shirt. Plus, all month long, they have 10% discounts on all wearables, parts, accessories, and oil change kits when purchased with a new or used Honda. Free refreshments served each Saturday morning in June. Just show up and say, I want to ride, and they'll fix you up with some free stuff and help you pick out that new ride. Come ride with Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln or online at rodspowersports.com. For your safety, read the owner's manual and always wear a helmet and eye protection. Honda Power Sports vehicles are for riders 16 years and older. Honda recommends that all ATV riders take a training course.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Back on the block, E. Strick, Jay Foreman, as well as Ellie Oxenfree. What's going on? We're having a great day today. I hope you're having a great day as well. The sun is shining. We appreciate you for tapping in right here on 93.7 The Ticket. TheTicketFM.com is where you can find us. You can get all the previous episodes as well as all the wonderful content of The Ticket right here on that station, TheTicketFM.com, as well as X, Facebook, YouTube, and Go follow, go share, go like, all of that good stuff. Raise us up in the algorithms and all that good stuff there, as well as you can find us on Allo 961 also. But real quick before we get out of here, sports betting, we may tap into this. We may cross over into it a little bit, but it's really not much to talk about. 6 years ago, sports betting was illegal under federal law. Today, it is everywhere. MLB, NFL, NBA have embraced gambling. They've signed these big and super lucrative deals, Jay and Ellie, for their sponsors now. They're all tapped in. This is where you get a lot of the stories of the people's talking about, it's rigged. You got all of the referees. You got this. You got people breaking down film. A lot of it now, some of the bettors they get quite upset when they see, why did you kick the field goal there? You could have kneeled on it. There's all these different things that's going on. But right now, who's under the microscope, Jay, he's actually, I actually know his dad, Mike Beasley, his dad and his family. Malik is a 3-point sniper.
Yeah, he was about to get paid too.
He's right there on the cusp of a deal. It was close to $50 million. But a U.S. attorney in the Eastern District has opened up a federal investigation into the free agent, and that's per The Atlantic on Sunday. Is sports betting gone too far? We've seen it on regular occasions. Obviously, they're making these prop bets now. So there's a way that they can actually curtail, or kind of contain the situation, turn it over here, pass up a shot there. If they know what's going on, there's some back end stuff, but it looks like his attorney has confirmed that the investigation is there. Are we in a bad place now with that? Is it easier to spot, or are we just blowing smoke and just everyone who looks like they're involved?
I think there's a difference between placing bets, which I know in the NFL, you have to be at certain places inside the stadium or the practice facility in order to gamble, because they got casinos in some of these places. So you actually can gamble or whatever it is, sports bet. I think with him, when it's federal, that lets you know it's up the food chain, and somehow his name was mixed up with it, and then they start to look at how he's played, like Terry Rozier, throw-in games. That's different. That's where he's in big trouble. You know what I'm saying? So now, and you, like you said, the prop bet.
I wouldn't want the feds watching on me like that. 2 Chainz said, the feds be watching.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't want them
it
watching.
Starts with, it's no different than, I don't know if you're familiar, Strick, with the former Alabama baseball coach. Well, then that went up the food chain. Then here comes Iowa football and basketball and Iowa State. So Michael Porter Jr., right?
Yeah, with his son, his brother.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing. What say you? 402-464-5685. Has the betting culture gone too far? Is it a thirst trap to say for a lot of? Obviously, thirst trap has a different meaning, but you know what I'm saying.
It's easy money.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
tempting, bro.
If I say, hey man, Jordan needs 40 tonight. I need him. I need him to get 40. But
we need him.
This is how we can be beneficial.
I'm putting 50.
Here's $100,000.
Right.
Just make sure he gets 40. What are you doing? Cash money.
Wow. See, I'm telling you, it is very tempting. And when I watch these movies, man, like Casino and all the, a lot of stuff that be going on, it makes you wonder. I might have to get my man Stephen Smith on here, man, to talk. Remember Stephen Smith from Arizona State?
Yeah.
I might have to get him on the show, man, just to really talk about this and break this down a little bit deeper. But we got to get out of here, take a quick break. We're going to start with the second hour. Second hour, we're going to talk in college football. Are they heading to a CBA? We've kind of touched on it, but we'll dig deeper when we come back right here on 937 The Ticket on the Block.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Hey guys, you have heard about the Farrell's 10-week challenge for years on The Ticket. If you still haven't joined us for this amazing challenge, what are you waiting for? You could be our next $1,000 winner like Derek, who just lost 30 pounds, 23 inches, and 8% body fat. Derek changed his life in the 10-week challenge, and so can you. Farrell's combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to get you the results you have been waiting for. Join us July 12th for the Summer 10-Week Challenge. Go to fxblincoln.com to enroll today.
Is it time to replace your home comfort system? Call Bryant and save money in every way. Bryant provides you with solutions that save. Save big immediately with attractive rebates, and save every day with lower operating costs. Most important though, the systems are selected to fit you. The right system, priced right, properly installed. That's the way Bryant works for you. How much can you save? Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing for a free estimate. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: a chance of showers and storms in the morning. Otherwise, decreasing clouds this afternoon. The high around 85. Tonight, mainly clear skies and light winds. Overnight low near 60. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with light winds. An afternoon high around 89. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I want to ride. Do you want to ride? June is officially riding month at Rod's Power Sports, Nebraska's largest volume Honda Power Sports dealership. Come in now and take advantage of huge savings and a great inventory selection during Rod's I Want to Ride celebration days all month long. Simply schedule a qualified demo ride on one of their new Honda motorcycles, ATVs, scooters, or side-by-sides, or purchase a new or used vehicle, and you get a free custom I Want to Ride t-shirt. Plus, all month long, they have 10% discounts on all wearables, parts, accessories, and oil change kits when purchased with a new or used Honda. Free refreshments served each Saturday morning in June. Just show up and say, I want to ride, and they'll fix you up with some free stuff and help you pick out that new ride. Come ride with Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln or online at rodspowersports.com. For your safety, read the owner's manual and always wear a helmet and eye protection. Honda Power Sports vehicles are for riders 16 years and older. Honda recommends that all ATV riders take a training course.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to The Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at PAHLincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Don't wait for Lincoln's fireworks stands to open up. Get the good stuff at Roca Crazy Cracker in downtown Roca. Stop in from June 25th through July 4th for the hot spot for rockets and more this Independence Day. Open 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. It's Roca Crazy Cracker Fireworks in downtown Roca. Attention baseball and softball players. The Nebraska Dominators are looking to add players to their baseball and softball teams for the 2026 season. Tryouts are happening now for all age groups, ranging from 7 years old to 14 and under for baseball and 7 years old to 18 and under for softball. Visit the Nebraska Dominators Facebook page for more information today.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is On the Block with Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer, Jay Foreman. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Back on the block, sponsored by the Mercado by Piedmontese. Second hour of On the Block is going to start off with college sports. We'll talk about football and definitely probably basketball would be incorporated in this. You probably won't see this along the other sports, but definitely it's going to start there as an initiation. They're looking to start talking and discussing out loud things that have been put in private. Danny White, who is there in Texas, right?
I think
Tennessee.
By the way, UCF.
Yeah, by way of UCF. Danny White has been working behind the scenes. There's something that we on the block have been talking about for quite a while to include Jay Foreman in this conversation. This is why it's good to listen to On the Block, because you hear some stuff that is already starting to pop out. Right. Like what happens here is seeds get planted. They kind of go in the dark. There's rain. You know it's been raining here. Now they're starting to germinate. They're starting to pop their little bud out. The head pops out. Hey, I'm about to be here. That's what's happened when you get to On the Block. You see some things. We've been talking about salaries. We talked about that before they even really started popping off. We talked about even having a cap, some form of a cap to keep things in order. Now you're seeing the come down of the litigation and the legislation that has come down, which has pretty much set some groundwork there. And we've also talked about something that has yet to happen. But I think what's happening right now, Jay, with this heading to the CBA, positions college football, and I think basketball as well, to begin looking towards mega conferences, where it's going to start slowly but surely eliminating smaller conferences. Because if you're starting to get into CBA, then you've got to start talking about unionization. So as you're thinking about some of these discussions that are happening down there in the Disneyland area, Disney World in Orlando, some of these conversations that are happening, how do you view it just as far as the talk, how long does something like this kind of take to formulate itself? White has been working, kind of talking to different ADs behind the scenes over time. Now, this didn't just pop up out of nowhere. They've been having these types of discussions for some time, even before the legislation has come down.
Yeah, it's a lot of things on the table. I think first and foremost, the biggest thing is I think is going to go to which I watch a lot of European soccer, so I love it. And I think it's going to go eventually if it keeps going the way it's going. I think that you're going to have mega conferences, and that's AKA European soccer model, where you're going to essentially have to work your way up, or you can lose your way down. You can get regulated or regulated down, and that's the only way it's going to be sustainable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that being said, union, the union part, I doubt that'll ever happen because I think this is we talked about this on the block. The players with NIL, people don't, these players, and this is where I think if I was a university, I would have more players like Eric Strickland talking to the basketball players, myself or somebody with NFL knowledge to the players that aren't coaches. The players, even though they got NIL and they got agents, they're still 5 steps behind.
Mm-hmm.
This is corporate now. They're doing big business. Yes, they'll do your taxes and all that stuff, but they're always going to pay you as a contractor. That's why you're going to have these contracts now. They don't want to unionize with you. This is professional sports. This is football. This is NFL. Think about this. If they unionize, that means they got to carry insurance on you. That means there's more money out of their pocket. That means they might be financially obligated to you for the rest of your life if something bad happens to you. They don't want that. The players got fixated on what? Money, right? So it's just like the NFL players. We talked about this on Old School, the CBA. Players sold out themselves, former players and future players, in order to sell weed. Or not to sell weed, but to smoke weed. Right? I mean, that's it. When you look at the NFL CBA, that was it. The owner's like, cool, and you're gonna play another game. We're gonna give you less benefits long term, and you're gonna make more because the regular season game makes them more money. And so I don't think it'll ever get to union. I think it will never be the union like we're thinking of, because they're starting so late and there's no continuity, right?
Yeah.
And it's so many conferences now. The small percentage, if they do go to mega conferences, it could work. Highly doubt it.
Some of the things that they're saying here, collective bargaining, there's some potential solutions that are out there. They're looking at a public push for, as we said, collective bargaining with the players to begin some years ago. And obviously there has been some discussion that Saban even threw out of there back in 2023, where he says unionize it and make it like the NFL. Shoot, if I think he was just a lot of frustration because it just seemed like every year for him, every time he looked up, it was some new thing that they were throwing into the mix of it. It just never really allowed him to get his hands. He's one of the best at getting his hands around what's available for him to do and then adjusting. And then next thing you know, something else shows up. Yeah. So I think that ultimately became some of the frustration for him. But it says in the article out of Yahoo Sports, it says, due to the approval of the NCAA's settlement and the arrival on Tuesdays of the revenue sharing era that has now begun, it has only exacerbated their feelings on employment and bargaining as a way to avoid more violations of antitrust. There is a dire need for a different model, they contend, one that is effective and in setting regulations for the array of concepts that they believe will not survive a legal test as the current way it exists, even with the legal settlement.
Yeah, I mean, really what they're saying is you better get a drop dead date that you're gonna start over.
Yeah, basically rip it all up. Everything is dead. They just start from the beginning.
It's no different if you remember when my man Ndamukong Suh, the House of Spears, Ndamukong, the House of Spears, when he came in the NFL, I think that was the last year of the rookie class of signing deals where when they signed their deal, they automatically became the first round guys, highest paid at their position.
Yeah,
which was wrong, right? I mean, Ndamukong's a Hall of Famer, but I'm saying you got guys that were average tight ends. Now you're getting paid more than Tony Gonzalez, and Tony Gonzalez could never get to that point because you're forcing guys, right? So that's why guys started to turn pro early. Guys jumped in the portal this year with the knowledge of good agents and good like mentorship, that this might be the last year that you can really go knock somebody over the head and you will be grandfathered in to the old rules
Right.
and not have to deal with the new rules. So I think they're going to let this kind of almost bottom out, because you're not going to be able to sustain this. Right.
Yeah.
And then once you kind of figure it out, it's going to be have to have not. The bigger part is strict. There's going to be a lot of sports that might turn into highly paid or just scholarship only club teams.
Well, so
Or club sports,
there's
you know what I'm
two
saying?
more parts that I want to discuss, and remind me on this if I forget, because my mind, I might start to ramble. One being now the problems with the collective, but also, do we see down the road, because we've also talked about this possibly, there being collegiate ownership groups. Now, we're going to come back. Let's put a pin on that one, because I think that's a deep discussion. So the collective bargaining problems, we just talked about some of the things and some of the solutions potentially that's out there, or just some of the thoughts on it. But you might know him, Damari Smith.
Yeah.
For 15 years, he's run the NFL Players Association. He says he is a realist, as he spoke to Yahoo News, when it comes to unionization and collective bargaining in college. Here's him, quote, pragmatically, it would be extremely difficult, he told Yahoo News in a recent interview. There are such a large number of athletes playing a desperate number of sports, or disparate number. I think that's what it is. Disparate number of sports, with some being revenue generating and some not. That becomes an issue. So he identifies this as it has many headwinds with collective bargaining concept that they might face. There's plenty of legal experts to contend with, including but not limited to formal recognition of athletes as employees, and it is more difficult now with more things that are now incorporated with this without adding a political spin to it. So, is that more of a problem? It seems to be that there's too many things,
right? Yeah,
too many trips or potential. What are they? Those holes that we used to,
Potholes.
Potholes or those doggone
loopholes.
That too. When we was kids, we used to be walking out and then they had them gopher holes.
Yeah.
Boy, you might step in a gopher hole and ankle would be all tore up. Ellie not used to that. She used to having the good grass.
You want to do that at a like a hospital or something, so you can get you got zoom enough. You got Strickland up there. You get your name up there. But I think this is all things that should have been done July 1st when they first allowed guys to go out and do NIL. Because if you unionize at some point in time, then you're going to think guys are going to, even back to all the way back when we played, you're going to be able to go back and potentially have some sort of class action lawsuit.
Yeah.
Based on the financial gain of if we were revenue generating, definitely. So if I was the NCAA, if this was just me, I would approach some lawyer law firm and say, how can we compensate past players to protect her? Like, hey, this is it. We know we messed up. This is it.
Yeah.
If you take this, you nullify yourself of future lawsuits. That's the number one I do. Number one. Number two, I wouldn't approach it from a collective bargaining. I would try to have some sort of like at will employee 1099, because there's 132 Power 4 football teams. There's way too many players. Way too many state federal laws. There's some schools that aren't revenue generating at all. That's why they got to play teams like Nebraska.
Yeah.
Do you include or exclude them? Do you have to have a certain threshold of debt to income ratio to be involved in it? Right. So I think, and then also some schools like the Big East are basketball schools. They're going to be really they might not want to jump into it because they get to take advantage of the whole, like Villanova. They got a couple of donors that can probably cover that, $20.5 million. They're able to go buy a heck of a basketball roster and still throw money at football and be a better football team, right? Without overextending themselves.
Yeah.
And so I think the CBA thing and collective bargaining thing isn't out, but I can guarantee you, you never know who these people are. They got to prepare for some lawsuits.
Yeah, and Good friend. I've known him for a long time, man. Good dude. Stu Jackson had talked about it as well. He is a commissioner now for the West Coast Conference, as well as a former executive vice president for the NBA. Known him a long time.
Yeah, good hair.
Very good. Yeah, he's got, the little Kwame joint.
Jason Williams or whatever.
The Kwame.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But, some of the things that he spoke about is he spoke about that there's a handful of power conference football general managers that they, share in a group text and they speak. And there's a couple of words that continually come up in that group text, and that's collective bargaining, as well as there, a common response that he says would happen is if things go awry with player contracts, transfer situations, and the compensation rate, how would you solve it? You see, in the way that you see, that's where then you have to look at a collective bargain, because there's really no answer. So you'd have to address them each separately in all these crazy instances. So you can have a bunch of individual things. It's kind of similar if you look at it, right? It's kind of similar to like what Supreme Court just ruled on a situation with regards to these national injunction things.
Yeah.
So you think about that, right? You don't have a one body that can actually decide on it. You have a bunch of these little entities all around the place, and a bunch of people throwing a bunch of things out there. There's really, it looks to me that's similar to what could happen here in this situation if you don't have any type of either a CBA or even arbitrary.
Yeah, you need to have some sort of leadership. I mean, I guess you could think of it like, people that used to work at like steel factories and stuff, right? They would be unionized, and they would, okay. Remember when I think like COVID hit and they weren't doing the shipping, right? Remember the one guy that got on TV and he was
the supply chains was,
but
backed
he was the
up.
guy that of the oil, when they go way out in the middle of the nowhere in the ocean,
the rigs.
But he was the guy, and he was paid. But he
Mhm.
said, "Listen, I'm shutting down everything unless the government comes back and talks." So you might have to have somebody that's like a union head or like a group of guys that represents the players, protects the players, but then also allows the university, which is the corporations, to be able to, you'd have some sort of negotiation power. But as far as
who you want, Bugsy Siegel or
if I'm the players, if I'm the player, it's hard because you got to give the players the opt in. But then I'm gonna tell you this is what this used to be like. Strick, when I first
go strong arm them now.
No, I'm gonna have Saban. But when I first got into the NFL, they had the QB club,
okay,
which was separate than the NFLPA. So they had, because they were the only ones marketable. Right. But then now they've joined, but I
remember that.
Right. But that kind of that blurred the lines, and it weakened the PA, because the NFL owners are like, well, these are the only guys without their helmet on. Bump you guys. Well, then finally they came in and saw the bigger picture. So you got to make sure everybody's all
on board.
Right.
That's a fact.
Right. And what if you're at LSU and say you transfer to Southern and they might not be in it?
Right.
Now, does your rights, are you grandfathered rights? You know what I'm saying? Or not? I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it. It's kind of like that EA Sports thing with your boy Ed O'Bannon.
Yeah.
I didn't get some money from that, man.
Shout out to Eric Paul, is my guy. Yeah, you know how we do it. Cupsker jumps in and talks about on the Sutter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. He says, I just think y'all are trendsetters and probably should get some NIL compensation for it. I agree.
1,000%.
Cupsker, man, make a petition for that.
Matter of fact, start a petition.
Facts.
We need to get paid.
That part.
I mean, 3 national championships. We probably need to break bread. You know what the funny thing is, Strick?
Yeah.
I was already in the NFL. I would never forget that. I got stopped in Chicago. Is O'Hare the one that's always busy? You always get delayed. Right. Delayed. Right. Right. My aunt told me don't fly through there. What'd I do? Fly right through there. Delayed. So we're at this like McKinney.
And it's big too. Yeah. So you gotta walk
right
in Chi-Town.
And here's the thing. I walked from one end to the other, and by the time I got there, everything said it was on time. They're like, yeah, you delayed. So I went to McKinney's bar, was kicking it, had me a nice little burger and some libations. Dude came up to me and I had a Nebraska a patch on my backpack. He said, "Man, you from Nebraska?" I was like, "I used to play there back in the day." He's like, "I love you guys." I'm like, "Oh, you from Nebraska?" He's like, "Oh no." He's like, "I'm from Illinois." He's like, "But I love you guys because you guys always covered. You guys made me a lot of money." Right? And I'm strict. I don't gamble.
Yeah, me neither.
So I had no idea what he's talking about. I was like, covered. He's like, "Oh yeah, you guys always covered the spread." He's like, "You guys are the best bet out there." He's like, "You guys are the best investment out there."
He said, "I love you guys."
But guess what he said? I'll buy you a beer.
You gotta love that. Libations for your favorite
But
price,
he probably
$3.99.
made $50,000. He bought me a $4.
Well, we're gonna end on that note. We're gonna come back.
That's a return on your investment. $5 beer for $50,000.
We're gonna bring Ellie into the conversation. We're gonna talk WNBA expansion and whether or not they're biting off more than they can chew too early. We'll be right back. 937 The Ticket.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Are kids better off in an intact family? You bet they are. This is Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Kids living in a household with married parents do better in school, they're emotionally healthier, and they're more likely to stay out of trouble with the law. If you're in a troubled marriage, of course you should do everything you can to save your marriage, if only for your kids' sake. This includes considering alternatives to divorce. Of course, in some circumstances, divorce is unavoidable. In either case, if you're a man facing a crisis in your marriage, let us help you at Cordell & Cordell. Remember, we're the partner men can count on.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln, Cordell & Cordell, 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska, 68508.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 432-6740.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
4th of July weekend is coming soon, and you know what that means. Grilling season. You know what's more embarrassing than an overcooked piece of meat? A dirty, disgusting, and grimy grill. Let the pros at Husker Grill Cleaning get you ready for grilling season. They'll take your grill apart piece by piece, scrub every inch, and reassemble your grill so it can look and perform its best. Visit their website, huskergrillcleaning.com today to schedule your appointment. Husker Grill Cleaning, serving Lincoln, Omaha, Malcolm, and more.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Attention baseball and softball players. The Nebraska Dominators are looking to add players to their baseball and softball teams for the 2026 season. Tryouts are happening now for all age groups, ranging from 7 years old to 14 and under for baseball and 7 years old to 18 and under for softball. Visit the Nebraska Dominators Facebook page for more information today. Don't wait for Lincoln's fireworks stands to open up. Get the good stuff at Roca Crazy Cracker in downtown Roca. Stop in from June 25th through July 4th for the hot spot for rockets and more this Independence Day. Open 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. It's Roca Crazy Cracker Fireworks in downtown Roca.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
We're back on the block. Next subject, 2 more segments here until Old School jumps in and takes over. Jay Foreman will lead the way there. So check it out. Ellie, you ready?
I'm up.
We getting back in. Yeah, you was on deck. Now you at the, we're going to let you hit a home run with the home run derby, right, with this topic.
Are we?
Yeah, we're going to let you in on this one. WNBA announces that they are expanding to 3 more cities. Wow. What is that? What is that? I can't remember who it is. I've seen it on like Instagram or something. The guy that goes, wow.
Owen Wilson. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, that part. That's what you can say in this situation.
Wedding crash.
Is that what it was?
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson?
Yeah.
Wow. They're announcing that they have 3 new teams that are going to be popping off. They're looking to get it popping in Cleveland, Detroit, and Philly. They're looking to stock up in the East. The new Cleveland team will start in 2028, with Detroit started in 2029, and then Philly entering into the fray in 2030. Here's what the statement from Kathy Engelbert. She expressed excitement over the addition of the three new teams. The demand for women's basketball has never been higher, and we are thrilled to welcome Cleveland, Detroit, Philadelphia, and to the WNBA family. This historic expansion is a powerful reflection of our league's extraordinary momentum and depth of talent across the game and surging demand for investment in women's professional basketball. Now, say what you will about it. I can say that there definitely has been a surge. No one wants to give the credit where the credit is due, and that's due to Caitlin Clark. Let's just keep it a buck. There's a lot of frustration because of that being the case. A lot of the old heads, believe that they should be the one that should lead the charge in this. They're still
and
underwater.
Nobody's telling them they can't.
Yeah.
They're just throwing a pity party.
Yeah. So they're still a little bit underwater.
Yeah.
But we know that ticket sales have now dropped again due to Caitlin's absence again. This is the second time now we're seeing that happen. So the question then becomes, Jay and Ellie, with this expansion, you're talking about 3 new teams. You're trying to raise your level, your travel, all of that stuff. That only increases the debt. So is it a solid business deal? Is it thinking down the road as to the potential of where things are going, or have they bitten off more than they can chew a little bit too early? Where do you guys stand on it? Ellie, we'll go ladies first.
Yeah.
Let's ladies first.
I like what you said in your second point about they see the surge, and I think they're just trying to get a good early jump on it. I like the expansion. I like that they're adding these because I think they just see where this is going. Obviously, there's some things that they need to figure out now. I like that they're adding 3 teams, but I think there's some things that they need to, instead of looking at the new shiny thing that's happening with 3 new teams, look at the teams that they have now and the problems that they have now, especially with injury and just some
well said.
Some fights and some things that people are getting upset about that really just need to be put in the back burner, especially with these veterans compared to rookies.
Well, see, that's so the beautiful thing about it is it's kind of preparatory, right? We're talking 2028, 2029, 2030. So as you said, I think I agree with you. They have to address some things now.
Yeah.
They have to see a continual uptrend now. They have to add storylines outside of Caitlin, in addition to Caitlin, now. They've got a few years to do that. Otherwise, I'm a little hesitant as to where it can go if they don't create a continual buzz. Hopefully, because of the time frame of it, Jay, I'm gonna let you in now. Hopefully, an individual like a Juju Watkins and those they start to come down into the fray, and they can continually add to that buzz and number. Right now, Beckers hasn't done it. They haven't, she's still young though. She's still got some time, but they haven't seen it from her being able to still pull the same weight as Caitlin has. But I think a Juju Watkins
because of
can.
Injury.
Well, there you go.
But she hit the big shot the other night, though, and she's
awesome.
and it's been I think one of the biggest things is that they go straight from like training camp to regular season. I don't think there's a long enough ramp up period. I think they probably need to they need to find a good number of expanding the roster. So when they do go 28, 29, 30, they're ready to go.
Yeah.
I think also I think they are ahead of the curve as far as storylines. I think that's why Plum is in LA. I think some of these moves are pushed by the league. You know this, Strick. I mean, these things don't just come out of air.
Come on, somebody.
They're like, hey, well, how would you like to have a well-known superstar on your team? I like the aggressive play. I like the storylines of Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and
you like the rivalry.
but I like the storyline. I liked it though. I mean, I like it. I think Magic and Bird was there. So as long as there's mutual respect, I think you also just need to make sure it's still the skill is there. Don't let that override the skill. And I think they need to really get a good handle on travel. Maybe adjust when the season starts and ends, and so they can have their own period. Like kind of season. And then I think they'll be good.
Because right now we got like MVP talk still going on. We're talking MVP throughout the whole season. We got a lot of season left. And something that I'm looking at now that we're really talking about it is this kind of, there's a lot of talk within the WNBA with problems that are going on. Is this kind of putting a Band-Aid on a crack on the sidewalk kind of thing where they're giving you a big thing that has a bow wrapped around it, but let's make this shiny again. But really, there's some things that we need to unpack and address before we can be happy about something that's super shiny.
Well, let me. This is the first time since last September that the league has expanded. Portland was the last city that received an expansion team. So now here's what I'm going to throw out. Here's what I'm going to throw out. Also, there's a new team that will be added, and that was Toronto as well. So here's the thing. Here's where I think a problem is, and I want your guys' perspective before we go to our final break. My thought is this. I think they've done it wrong. Not in a negative way. The reason is, I think they've tried to follow the NBA blueprint, and they're trying to integrate themselves behind a lot of these NBA teams. I personally think they should go the G League route, meaning you go into these smaller markets and become a balancing act, because when the G League's done, you become, and there's really not much to happen in a Raleigh. There's really not much to happen that's going on in a Louisville. There's really not much going on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In Ann Arbor. I'm just throwing out certain names. I could really break this down a little bit more in detail, but that you see where I'm talking about.
CBA type of deal.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that's where they should have went. The reason is, you look right up in the G League, one of the best G League teams as far as attendance is right up the road in South Dakota, and that's the Skyforce. Sioux Falls. I would have put a team there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would have followed that model. Whoever is hot in the G League, get them into one of those type of markets and expand from that. Because I think you would get a little bit more broader base. Talk to me. What you think? Am I kind of off? You're following the NBA model. That NBA model, those some of those teams just, you put teams in LA, they're just not. Yeah. Miami, there's just way too much other. They dang near don't show up unless Miami's really good, even in Miami. Yeah. So, you go into some of these places where there's already not, they don't even halfway feel.
It'd be better out to
Atlanta is another one.
or something.
Yeah. You feeling me? Okay, talk to me. Break it down.
Also, I think they need to try to come into some sort of compromise what they did the 3-on-3 thing as well.
Yeah, I
that
like
league.
that.
Now I know that's player led and player owned. So it's essentially in strict in the NBA terms is like the Ice Cube's 3-on-3 becoming part of the NBA, and they just need to work together. I like the idea of smaller cities. I think you can do a combination of both, and that's just part of it. I think you can go. You can get to Florida. You can go to Jacksonville, like I said. Maybe Tampa, but probably Jacksonville, because it's only the Jaguars, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I think you could rally behind it. Now I don't know if they have a basketball arena, but I'm sure they got a college arena. So. And then I think Las Vegas is great because they just support all their teams. And LA is a little bit hard just because of they got everything. They even got football now.
Why not take it to San Diego?
That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah, something like that. Like, I'm just
short little trip too.
Yeah.
Or just puts there. I'm looking at a map right now, and if we're looking at a map of the United States where teams are and where they're putting the new expansion teams, it's all here. And there's nothing near us or in the middle of the United States.
Yeah.
All on
I'm
the
sure
outside.
like a Kansas City.
It would be so awesome
Omaha?
if you give
like
the Lynx kind of take up a lot of the Midwest fan base and population. Just add one to the other side. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Do you think you could do well in Kansas City? They used to have an ABA team.
I'm kind of half and half on that. I actually, I can't remember how well the Racers did. I thought they did pretty good when they were here. I actually think, I actually think Nebraska could support it. I think Omaha could.
Oh, for sure. I know.
See, the reason they don't look at Omaha with any flair about, we only have 2 million people. So in their mind's eye, they don't understand how Nebraska gets behind.
Yeah.
It. That's what they miss. They're, out of the 2 million, then you're 1 million get behind type.
Nebraska
thing,
likes
right?
something to cheer for.
Yeah. Well, shoot. That's going to, what's your thoughts? Let's see what they got going on the text line. Is there somebody out there? Nobody on that subject. That's okay. Except my guy, Eric. Pause. Eric with the no K. I tell everybody when they do that, Jay, when people try to spell it with the ERIC, I tell him, you got to put some respect on my name. Emphasis on the name. We're going to get out of here for our last segment here that's sponsored by Love Volleyball Omaha. And, we call it the match point with Love Volleyball Omaha. But nonetheless, we'll come right back. We'll have one more segment. We're going to have a hodgepodge topic. Nothing set in stone. We're just going to throw something out to you, and hopefully you'll join us when you come back right here at 93.7 The Ticket on the block.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Hey, it's Jake Sorensen. Join us for Early Break this Thursday from 6 to 9 a.m. at the brand new Residence Inn at 9th and R in the Haymarket. We'll showcase the brand new hotel and preview its grand opening. That's Early Break this Thursday from 6 to 9 a.m. at the Residence Inn at 9th and R in the Haymarket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese, with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to The Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Husker fans, the 2025 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need your support in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $185. This plan includes a ticket to USC plus Akron or Houston Christian and either Michigan State, Northwestern, or Iowa. Tickets are only available while supplies last. Purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: a chance of showers and storms in the morning. Otherwise, decreasing clouds this afternoon with a high around 85. Tonight, mainly clear skies and light winds. An overnight low near 60. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with light winds and an afternoon high around 89. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Attention baseball and softball players. The Nebraska Dominators are looking to add players to their baseball and softball teams for the 2026 season. Tryouts are happening now for all age groups, ranging from 7 years old to 14 and under for baseball and 7 years old to 18 and under for softball. Visit the Nebraska Dominators Facebook page for more information today.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Final segment here on the block, and it is sponsored by Love Volleyball Omaha. We're thankful for them as well. Great season, their first time here in Omaha, getting it done. The ladies doing their thing. Volleyball is huge here in the state of Nebraska, so they're just an extended arm of what Husker and even Creighton volleyball is to the community. So thanks to them and their support of On the Block. Last segment, Jay. July 1st, in NFL football jargon, not the strictionary. We're going to take it out of the strictionary. We're going to put it on NFL jargon. The time, what do they call it when July 1st rolls around? What's it called?
It's like, well, we used to call it like when what's the big actor on the Green Mile, and it was like dead man walking. Dead man walking.
Big fella.
Hey, man. Once July 1st, and some players extended to July 4th. Once July hits, it's over. It's over. It's over. Like you might get you're gonna still be able to work out and do all that stuff, but about middle of July, it's time to lock in.
It's time to lock in.
And them days go by faster. I always say after July 15th, that's like when you get in trouble at school.
Yeah.
You're looking at the clock and you want it's slow. You in trouble because dad. Big strict at home. My dad at home waiting for you.
Facts.
Yeah,
that's a fact. So what's the breakdown? Okay, so it's kind of laser focused time. When do you show up there? Do you stay at home, kind of just isolate yourself,
right?
Or do you kind of get out there, get yourself settled, and then get into the mode? What's the move?
I think Buffalo still goes to St. John Fisher. Everybody else usually does their training camp at home or close. So there's no point of going early, like we used to.
Yeah.
Which I'd go a day or two early, just kind of get acclimated, try to move into the dorms early. And even if I, spring for a hotel, at least you're there. You never want to be late. You want to kind of get started on the right.
Yeah, you don't want no hiccups. Mm-hmm.
And we used to have to test out before training camp, so you could get that done early. So you really there, ready, locked and loaded. And also depends on your tenure as well. But yeah, about middle of the month, man. I ain't nice to be around.
Yeah. Mentally locked in. Here's the last thing. What do you expect to see coming out of Cleveland now that we're in this mode? Like, what can you give us insight on potentially of what we might see going on in Cleveland?
Cleveland is a lot like when I went to Houston, and it was a very hard transition for me because I was winning. I went from college winning, Buffalo winning, to Houston, and they're going to start Joe Flacco at the start of the season. There's two reasons. Number one, he has the most experience. There's no reason in Joe Flacco, when he's healthy and he has people around him, still can throw. He can still throw that pill. But number two, in order to keep the veterans' attention and the respect, you got to put him out there. And also, he has leadership skills. He's won a Super Bowl. He knows the AFC North and all that. But if they start losing, or Joe Flacco gets hurt, or if they find a viable excuse to appease the masses, it's going to be a merry-go-round for the Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders, and it doesn't even matter if one of them is on the practice squad.
London Bridge goes round there.
Because here's what they're doing. They're essentially going to give those three, if they're not winning, and Joe Flacco could be playing good, but they're not winning. That's when you have them, like, they'll send him home, right? Because they just, and which is not fair to him. They're going to give it, depending on how much left in the season, they're going to give them all like a 2 or 3 game tryout, because they got to know what they got.
Last thing. Does anybody get traded?
If somebody's desperate or if there's something else going on. Yeah. I mean, you got 2 third-round quarterbacks at worst, but one by draft and one by talent. And somebody else had to like them. Yeah. Whether they want to like it or not, they say it or not, they got to do it.
Well, 1 down, 1 to go without Austin Orman in the building.
Yeah, Ellie.
Ellie, you are the new locked in stock.
I'm the new Austin.
Yeah, the new Austin.
Joking.
A different version.
Ellie, everybody that sat in that seat has got brand new after they kind of, right?
Yeah.
Nate Brennan. He leveled up.
Yeah.
Nick. Austin.
Yeah. You next. You next.
Up for me. I'm up.
But it's all good. Another wonderful episode here. Thank you guys as well. Hit the like button, hit the share button. Go on to our YouTube page, log in as well, and become a member of the On the Block family. We appreciate you. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same bat channel, 3 to 5, right here on the block. Old School next, right after this. See you later. Peace. We out.
Load up on me.